Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of our talk show. And this is where we bring you inspiring conversations with people who help others create meaningful success and fulfillment. And today is extra special because instead of interviewing a guest, I am introducing a new collaboration that has both Kat and me incredibly excited. I am Victoria Ferrer, personal power and public presence business coach, and I help entrepreneurs, professionals, and leaders communicate with confidence, influence, and authenticity. And joining me today is my amazing collaborator and friend, Kat Markel. Kat?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. So, hi, Kat. Would you like to say something about yourself that our viewers would know? Who
I,
is Kat?
I guess I should do that. So I am Kat. I know, big surprise there. So I have a question before I kind of go into my spiel. But the question is, have you ever met or do you know someone, maybe a friend, maybe yourself, but someone that so good at what they do. They are really good at whatever gift and skill they have, and then they're offering. But they're not so good at communicating that and their messaging to other people. And that because of that, they get a little stuck. Yeah. Those are the people that I work with. Women, not always, but women who have these amazing ideas, who are so good at what they do, and they're trying to go ahead and build a business, something that's there, something that they can own themselves, and they're doing this either while they're raising their kids and the young, their families, and they're trying to juggle all that, or it's their like second act and they're like, okay, try to do something new, something for myself, and they're getting away from all that corporate stuff. And so here they are, and they're doing this, and they're building these beautiful businesses, but they just don't know how to get it all together, get that messaging all together. And so that's where I help them with coaching, with design, strategy. We really kind of take them from the beginning and get them all the way to the finish line with their business. So that is what I do.
Lovely, lovely, Kat. And that's why we're here. We found each other and we
Yes.
said, hey, let's do this. Because, Kat, I've noticed I've been in networking events. And when we talk about our businesses, so I get to talk to a lot of them who says, so I say, so what do you do? I want to know more about your business. And she goes, I do this and I do that. And I say, hey, um, you sound depressed. You sound so sad about your business. You're supposed to be, enthusiastic and energetic. Yeah, but that's my personality. Well,
Mm,
may I be honest with you? I don't think you can get clients that way, right, Kat?
yes.
Because people, maybe they say, well, you see, I'm an introvert. Yeah, but you're an introvert and you're into business. You have to have that personality where people would be attracted to you like a magnet. And so
Exactly.
I believe, Kat, your idea of how do you say combining our mission together and making sure that everybody that we will be having as client will have that cohesive or the kind of personality where I'm a businesswoman, I know what I'm doing, I have the branding, I have the strategy, and I know how to present.
Yeah, it's crazy because we're all so powerful and we all have certain gifts that we're so good at. Some people really have that health and fitness thing down and they're really good at helping others achieve their own health and fitness goals. Some people are just really gifted in baking things. I know they're a little
Yeah.
opposite, but nonetheless, they're so good at that and making delicious foods. Some are really good at numbers and they do all the accounting and bookkeeping. I mean, I met a woman yesterday and her job, the business she created, it's so wonderful, is she helps families with care. but not just like finding them a babysitter, but really going in depth, making sure that they have the right kind of nannies, any other care they might need. And it's, she's just a housewife, a mom who had that problem. She couldn't find help when she needed it. And she'd ask friends and they'd offer, oh, I used, little Mary Jane down the street. She's a great babysitter. And nothing ever really worked. So that's where her business came from. We all
Mhm.
have ideas like that and gifts like that. And, we want to get them out and to help other
Mhm.
people with them. And to your point, some people they're excited, they know it, but they get so kind of, I don't know if it's nervous or if it's
Mhm.
self-doubt, but
Mhm.
or maybe they just don't understand fully what to say. But what do you do? No, 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 no. I help people find care. I bake sourdough bread. I am the world's best bookkeeper. Give me your receipts and I'll take care of it so you don't have to. That is what people need to, how to express themselves. And I think they miss it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's part of communication. And when I used to um, do training in the Middle East, I stayed there for 20 plus years and dealing with professionals, business owners, and they would give me business presentations where they all talk about figures, percentage, and ROI. And I say, excuse me, mister, but I'm not really interested in ROI or figures. I want your story. Let's start
Mhm.
with your story. Let's start with your failures. Let's start with your vulnerability. I want to hear that because then I could resonate with you and I could learn how you thrive. And then he
Mhm.
would say, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So people learn how to share stories. People learn how to tell stories in a way that the listener would say, oh my God, I'd like to do that. I could resonate with that. I have the same experience. But if you don't share the story and you just talk about percentage figures, I don't want to listen to that, right, Kat? And so this is where we are. That's why we're here, because we want to share our knowledge and experience in letting you communicate to the world.
100% people do business with people and not numbers. They don't care about the they want to know, how is your product, how is your service, how is your whatever going to help me in my problem? Because this is my problem. How are you going to help me? And they don't care that you've got a bunch of numbers. They want to know and they want to connect with you. Oh my gosh, he really knows because he's been there. Oh my gosh, she understands me. Like she's me. I'm looking in a mirror. That's when you hook people. And that's what, we're going to try and help people learn. We're going to communicate this. We're going to teach them so they can just go out and do it themselves and create some ripples and just keep growing their businesses.
There you go. And also, Kat, this is like a long-term investment. Why? Because once they learn and know the skills, the knowledge, and practice it, they can also coach their teams, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's not, you don't lose anything here. On the contrary, you invest and we teach you to be trainers as well. Because at the end of the day, who will train your team except
Right.
yourself, right? And so join us because we are really excited. I'm so excited about this event, Kat. I have a question for you. What do you think are the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when building their brand?
I think a lot of the times it's a DIY situation, which is what they don't know marketing because you know what? They know how to make sourdough bread. They know how to coach fitness. They know how to do numbers, whatever they know how. And they don't know marketing, which is fine because that's what they went to school for. But what happens then is they go, oh, okay, I need a website. And they just kind of put some stuff together. It doesn't, whatever. And then they go, oh, well, I need some social media posts. And they just put some other stuff together. And then they maybe go to some meetings and then they're kind of trying to communicate and saying things that doesn't really fit right. And that's the problem. So what they're doing is they're creating like a patchwork quilt which
Right.
is great for a blanket. It really is. But in a business, you don't want patchwork. You want a beautiful tapestry. And that's what we're trying to work on. And that's where I think people go short on. They miss that mark, not putting it all together in an integrative way. So what they say, what's on their website and what's in social media and what they present and what's on their actual like papers and things they hand out their collateral, all matches. Everything has to match and support each other. And that's, integrative marketing, when everything's working together in their own different platforms and bringing people back to the same thing. And that's the idea. It's, that's where people go wrong, I think, time and time
I
again.
totally agree. And I say exactly the same thing with public presence. People think confidence means sounding like somebody else, or they copy speakers, they memorize scripts, they hide their personality, and the audience feels the disconnect immediately.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I believe being authentic, like Kat. I mean, I was drawn to Kat because she was authentic. She gave you the real thing. She doesn't, give you things on icing on the cake. She'll tell you what she really thinks about it, and then she helps you. So, Kat, thanks for being authentic. That's a
Well,
superpower.
thank you. And well, I learned the hard way. When I started my business, I was really good at working at my company and doing what I was supposed to do and just that little thing. I wasn't so great at the sales and so great at everything else, because that wasn't my job. And
Mhm.
when you go into your own business, suddenly you're responsible for everything. Everything from the sales to the marketing to the accounting and everything in between. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't know what to do. So I went out and I got a coach. I invested a lot of money into a program that I thought was going to be really like great for me. And almost right away, I mean, the ideas were okay. Some of them were better than others.
Mhm.
And so I did get something from it. But what I also got was a lot of fake. The way they wrote their scripts. And I'm like, I can't use a script. Like that's so not me. And I would try really, really hard. And like the emails never sounded right. Or the messages never sounded right. Or when I was actually on a call with
Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
it felt, and it wasn't like, well, maybe you just need to memorize it better. And then I'm like, no, it felt stiff no matter how many times I did it. And I really think that came through. And to your point, like when we first met, it was that we both were that authentic personalities to each other. We were both
Thank
communicating.
you.
You were being who you are, and there was no fake, there was no script. It was, this is who Victoria is. And the same. And I think it's so important. And if you're not
So
authentic,
important.
people will see it and they're not going to want to deal with it. Because again,
Exact.
people buy or work with people, not robots and not numbers. It's a you have to be a person and you have to be real.
Not AI.
Not AI. No, no. AI is a great tool. We can have that
Great tool.
conversation some other day. But no, not AI. You. Who are you?
Exactly, exactly. So, Cap, let's finally tell everyone what we've been working on.
Oh my gosh. So
I'm
we are doing,
excited.
I know. So we are doing this most amazing webinar. And we're going to talk about the price in a minute because I think that's the best part. But the webinar is, build your brand, build yourself, I think is what we call it. I'm horrible at remembering names, being very, very authentic right here. Uh, yeah. But so that's what, and what we're doing the whole time, honestly, is teaching you how to do just that. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about marketing and branding in general, kind of giving you the overview of what it is. But because it's so vast, I can't go into all of it right now.
No,
But what we're
no.
going to do is a little piece of it, and I think it might be one of the most important pieces, is we're going to discuss and build your USP or your unique selling proposition or unique selling promise. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And it's so important that you have it because this is what sets you apart. This is what makes you different. Oh, well, I'm a banker. Great. Why should I go to this banker versus that banker? Oh, I sell insurance and I work from blah, blah, blah company. Yeah, well, there's 10 other agents that I know from that same company. Why you? Um, or you have your own business again. Yes,
Right.
I'm a yoga instructor. Great. I know a lot of yoga instructors. Why you? And that's what we're going to work on. Why you? What makes you special and unique, and what makes people want to work with you? And then Victoria, she's going to do an amazing job teaching you how to communicate that, and getting that information that we take on paper. We're going to write it all down. We're going to sort it all out. She's going to teach you how to communicate that. You want to talk about that a
Amazing.
little bit?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's about personal power. And, visibility without confidence doesn't work. So when you're in a networking event and you start talking about yourself, there should be that charisma. There should be that presence that I'm ready to talk about my business because I'm proud of it. And here I am. This is being authentically me. And together, I mean, where else can you get this kind of webinar? Personal power and brand presence,
It's going to
where
be
you
great.
are together, we're helping people create both, not just one, but both. And Kat, I'm sure your goal is when somebody visits your website or sees your content, what can you do for them, Kat?
I'm going to work with them in a coaching way. Everything I do starts with coaching, no matter what you want. And whether it's like, I need a whole new website. Great, let's start with coaching. Because when I coach you, we're going to go over all that branding stuff that you may or may not have. And even if you do have, we're going to tweak it. But what I find is a lot of people don't have it in full depth. So what I work with people is building that foundation, because I can't do anything else. You can't do anything else in business without that full foundation, that nice firm, who I am, why I am, what's my mission. All of that builds up, and you kind of put it together into this beautiful package. And that's the first thing we work on. From there, I help people with strategies. Okay, well, now we know who you are, what you do.
Yeah.
How can we get that out? And we work on communicating that information and building strategies around that. Tweaking or updating or building a website that communicates that. So that's what I really work on with people. I want them to understand that they're not alone, because
Right.
it's scary and quiet and can be very lonely in business. But it doesn't have to be. There are people out here to help you, like myself and like Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to help people. So that's what I want people to understand, is you're not alone, and that we're going to help you get clear. I'm going to help you wherever you're stuck. We're going to get you from there to that next level. And then I'm going to hold you accountable, because it's really easy to go, got it. I'm excited. Yes, I got this. I'm all excited. And you go off, and you start off for the first, month, and it's going great. In the second, third month, and next thing you know,
Mm,
you've kind of, because no one's holding you accountable. And so
right.
I offer accountability too, because it's
I love
easy to
that.
go, and you just get lost in it all.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
accountability.
Yeah, a lot of people approach me and said, Victoria, I'm not good at speaking. Well, it's not a personality trait. It's a skill. And the more you practice, the more you will learn.
Mm-hmm.
People, connect with stories before they connect with services, right? And telling your
100% with you.
story, telling, and even when you're helping them create their brand, their website, it's their story. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
Kat's story. It's the client's story. And with seeing their website and seeing whatever content it has, it's your story, and people have to be attracted, and people would have to resonate with that website, because people would have to say, I need her service.
Yeah.
Her service, she is so, friendly. It's a friendly user thing. And the Cat is an expert on that. And I'm sure that, building a brand based on authenticity, not trends.
Yeah.
Trends change,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, you can't do that. Yeah. You know,
Authenticity lasts.
again, it's about connecting with people and showing them that you understand their problem.
Yes.
What is your issue? I've been there. Hi, I'm also a mom. I have two kids. I tried to build my business with them. And at the same time, I am now going into the empty nester stage 2 thing. So, or act 2. So I've been there, and I'm doing just that. And I've I've been there, so I want to share this experience with people. You've been there, you want to share your experience with
Yeah.
people,
Oh,
and that's what it
yeah.
needs to communicate. And it's always going to be story based. That's why the foundation is so important. When someone says, "Can you build me a website?" or "Can you run my social media?"
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but I need that information. I need you. I need you. And then once I have you and all of that makes you you, then we can go ahead and do that. And the same thing when it comes to speaking. Victoria, she needs you. She needs the person. She needs the information that you have to know. So then she can work with you and to communicate that in a way that, is easy to understand
It's
with
easy, yeah.
confidence.
Right. And I always say you are the face of your business. Right. I mean, if I want to know more about the business, I talk to the owner. I don't talk to the receptionist because I want to know more. I want to know your vision. I want you to know your intention and how do you speak about your business, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so we'll be there to coach you on the things that you need to learn and believe you, me, that you will come in certain person, but come out from our courses a different, more confident person who believes that I can do this. And that's what we want.
So I got a question for you, Victoria. We talked about how amazing this is going to be and why you people need it and who needs to come. How much are we charging for this amazing webinar?
Yeah. Well, I believe, Kat, that this is the time that you, our spokesperson, would talk about the cause and how, how they could join the webinar. I would throw back the question to you.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, I was, gonna give you a chance. So, Victoria talked about it being an investment in yourselves, and I think that's really important to understand that it is a long-term investment. So, it's important that when you're getting ready to hear this, that you're prepared to understand that it's an investment, and it's going to cost you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Truly, it is a free webinar. You're going to get
Mhm.
so much education, and we want you to take this education. We want you to actually work with it, hang on to it, figure it out, sit with it a few days, come back to us with any questions, and we want you to then take it to your team members if you have a team. Get
Right.
that information out there, and we want this to be free for you. So it is absolutely free,
Mhm.
no questions asked. You will have workbooks or worksheets for you to fill out. It's not going to be something where you just kind of sit there and go, okay, are they done talking? It's very interactive, and we
Interactive.
want because that's the only way you're going to learn, right? Is to actually sit there and do it. And I want you to have that value. Victoria wants you to have that value. So if you want to register, I'm sure the link is going to be included somewhere up or down wherever we are. But you can also simply go to catmarkelcreatives.com/webinars or just catmarkelcreatives.com and it'll pull up and then you will find a way to register there. We have two options. The first one, the date is July 28th. That's a Tuesday, I believe. And is it a Tuesday? She's checking. I think it's a Tuesday.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it is a
See,
Tuesday.
authentic. This is what you get.
Yeah.
Whether I'm being interviewed or I'm working with you, you're gonna get this. So it's a Tuesday. July 28th is a Tuesday. We are offering it at two different times because we
Hmm.
know scheduling can be tricky. And we're also Victoria is in California and
Yes.
I'm in Pennsylvania. So, uh,
We have
time
to
can
consider the
be a little
time
different. So we
difference.
want to make sure, yeah, we're trying to make this available for everyone, no matter where they are and what their schedules are. So our first one is at 9 a.m. California time, Pacific time, 12 noon East Coast, and everybody in between can kind of figure that out. And then we're offering it again at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That would be 8 p.m. Eastern time and everything in between. So you have two chances to join. And again, both of them are free. So
That's
please check it out.
amazing. So, viewers, come and join us and see how you are going to learn and how you are going to visualize your business growing because of the brand strategy and public presence that you will be learning. And it's free, it's not going to cost you anything. Invite as many people as you think you can because they can be able to, benefit from it as well. And believe me, Let's help you build the confidence to speak and the presence to lead and the brand to be remembered. So I
And one
guess
thing I want to address really fast is, we talked about, a little bit about who it's for, but I think people go, oh, well, it's for business owners. And I work for a corporation or whatever. And that's fine. That's good.
yeah,
But you have a personal brand you have to connect
yeah, yeah.
I mentioned it before, you're looking for an insurance agent and I want to work with blah, 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 blah company.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
and but there's, I may know three, four, five, six agents in the same office, let alone the office that's here, the office that's the next town down, you
Mhm.
know. So why am I choosing you over that agent or that agent? What about you is different? How am I connecting with you? Maybe you are just really, you've got kids my kids' age. Maybe I can connect with you on that. And you've literally been there. Maybe your kids are into sports. My kids were into sports. So guess what? Anyone who understands that lifestyle, I'm gonna blend with you. So it's important to get that information out. So whether it's your own business, you have your own business, you're a solopreneur, you are a small business that you're growing, it's you and a few some teammates, team members, or if it's you in a company, a corporate company, but you need to stay that in your office. Everybody needs to learn how to brand themselves. Everybody else needs to learn how to communicate. We're all doing different meetings and network events. That's where Victoria is like amazing.
Oh, thank you, Kat. And you're amazing too. So let's learn from each other. And I'm sure, our viewers would be able to, join us and we can also learn from them. So I can't wait. I
I
can't
know, I'm
wait until
excited.
the 28th, Tuesday. So that's going to be like 5 p.m. PST in the afternoon. And in the morning, it's 9 a.m. PST, and that's 12 noon EST.
It
So
is.
yeah, can't wait. And we're going to be posting this social media so that we want to reach to as many people as we can
Yes.
all over the US, right, Kat? And we
Yes.
have a big vision, and we want you to join our community because it's not going to be just us running the show. Because in the future, when we train you, right, Kat, you will be
Mm-hmm.
like our ambassadress for
Yeah.
this course and spreading the word around. Let's make everybody in the community knowledgeable, skilled, having the brand strategy and public presence. That's all. That's what we need in our business.
Yes.
So yeah. So well, I guess it's time to say goodbye, Kat, until we see them on the 28th. So
But they are coming, right? You are
they
coming on the
are,
28th.
you
I want,
are,
like, go ahead
you,
right now and hit the like button because I want to know ahead of time that you're coming and register, please. But
yeah,
I can't wait that long. Hit the like button and,
yeah. And if you want to comment, please
oh,
comment, right?
I like comments too.
Yeah, and then we can't wait. So let's build this community together as the brand strategies, public presence, people, business owner. You don't have to be a business owner, as Kat said.
Oh,
You yourself is a brand already. And how do you build that? And probably even some people haven't even thought of what business they want to enter into. They
right.
might have ideas by just listening to the webinar. Oh, I can be this type of a coach. How do I brand myself? How do I communicate? This is the right platform for you.
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah,
I just
Kat.
want to throw one more. I just you talked about it, and I just want to address it one more time. You mentioned people. You don't have to have your own business. I know we just went
Yeah,
over that, and it's so true about personal branding. And a short story because I know we're going long, but
yeah.
I talk a lot, so sorry.
Oh, we love to
Uh,
talk.
but it's a good story. So here we go. You don't have to be an insurance agent or any of that stuff too. I was working with a person who was in construction, business development in construction. Okay. So that's not banking. That's not and while he was out representing his company, who already had a reputation, it was a good reputation. Don't misunderstand. But they were representing what we ended up working on, and what really pushed, I think, is him. We set him that he was the one you trusted. So if it's what he said, that was gold, and it became he was almost uh over and above the company in that sense. You know, they weren't buying the company, they weren't signing that company to do the project or the job. They were hiring him and what he said. And thank goodness that, you know, the company behind it was very good and strong, obviously. That's what branding is all about. Personal
Yeah.
branding is people coming out right away and going, you know what, I don't really know your company. And yep, I know that there's this construction company, that construction company, and they're all submitting bids, but you, I've heard of your reputation, I've heard of who you are,
Yeah.
not who the company is, but who you are. And I want to do
Exactly.
business with you. I'm
I
trusting
love that.
you.
I love that.
So yeah, so I wanted to put that out there again because that's
Oh,
how
well,
important this is,
that's
I think, to
so,
people.
yeah,
So
valuable for everyone. So
yeah,
great. Can't wait. So we'll
yes.
just say goodbye and we'll see you at the webinar.
See you soon.
Take
Bye.
care. Take care, everyone.